Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, man, we're back. We got a Just Start Lounge today, man. We got two strangers, twisted plot revealed the shocking murder of Sonia.
He gonna tell us.
Exelby? Is it?
Just leave it at that and then that's a nice try.
Hey, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, you gotta do it. Check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
Hey, let's get it. Let's check this out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
In the autumn of 2025, a young English musician unexpectedly boarded a plane from London Heathrow to Gainesville, Florida. 2 days later, she missed her flight home. The horror that befell Sonia Exelby was both shocking and tragically predictable. The strange truth finally revealed through her secret messages, plans that developed in the shadows and the darkest corners online.
And I'm gone. Bitch is gone. Sorry. But
did you say bitch is gone?
Yeah.
Hi there, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge.
Yo.
I thought he said fish, like a nickname. I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, what?
Hold on. I think I was just finna have us do this one on another one.
Ask for.
Yes. Because I told you I actually got it saved in my thing.
You came across this?
Yes, and I was like, I had saved some like body cams for us to do and stuff like that, and this was one of them.
Oh.
This was one of them. I was like, I said I know it when I see it because I remember the girl, the like thumbnail. Yeah.
But the reason why I ain't do this is because the way it's titled. Wife discovers her husband's secret.
Yes, that's what. Yes.
But the thing was, I was like, typically because Evil been doing a lot of those type of videos. I was like, I ain't want to get into this one because I was like, I thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I went back and I looked. I said, no, this might not be one of those. Okay, we got that today. I literally just about to have us do it the other day, but we ran out of time.
Oh, okay.
Ouch. Today's case is as strange as it is disturbing. This is the story of two people that seem to have no connection, nothing in common. It begins mysteriously, but the truth did not stay buried for very long. Let's take a look. On the afternoon of October 17th, 2025, law enforcement in the community of Marion Oaks, Florida, made a disturbing discovery in the woods. Focusing on an area where soil had been disturbed, officers found a shallow grave. From the earth, they pulled the body of 32-year-old Sonia Exelby. She had been reported missing days earlier. Sonia had sustained 4 stab wounds to her torso, bruising to other parts of her body, and an abrasion to her neck. Her death was ruled a homicide. Exactly 1 week earlier, Sonia had traveled from her home in Portsmouth, England, to Gainesville, Florida. Her return flight was scheduled for just 2 days later. She was not on it. The city of Portsmouth is located on England's south coast in the county of Hampshire. The birthplace of Charles Dickens, it is an area rich in culture and history. The dockyard draws tourists to view historic ships, while the commercial ferry port remains one of the busiest in the UK. In the autumn of 2025, Portsmouth was home to Sonia Exelby. Sonia had studied music. As a pianist and singer, she composed and performed live. She posted many of her compositions online. Sonia made a living as a music teacher. She taught a handful of instruments, including the piano, guitar, and flute. She had a love of singing.
So the piece I will play you today
It's a bit different to what you might used to be hearing, but I hope you enjoy. If it's true what they say, I will hear them, I pray unto love.
Sonia had been in a relationship with her boyfriend, artist Stevie, for nearly 15 years. The two lived together in Southsea along with their cat, Meryl, whom they adored. It was Stevie, along with other family members, who first raised alarm bells when Sonia failed to board her flight home from Florida. Hampshire police were contacted, followed by Interpol. Calling Sonia the love of his life, Stevie pleaded on social media for help locating her. He wrote that he was terrified for her safety, that she was vulnerable, and notably, that Sonia had been struggling deeply with her mental health. She had made plans to travel to London, where she boarded a plane at Heathrow Airport to fly to the United States, unannounced. Sonia had no known connections to anyone in Florida.
That's what I was about to say. Why is she kind of, like, it's bizarre.
I cannot run away from the things that they say. I will stay and pray.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement was contacted by Interpol following the missing persons report filed by Sonia's loved ones in Hampshire. Investigators began tracking Sonia's movements after she landed at Gainesville Regional Airport on the evening of October 10th. They found a handful of curious bank transactions on Sonia's cards the next day. Over a 10-minute period just after midnight on October 11th, there were no less than 7 attempts to place charges on her debit card. Each one declined. Then, at 1:10 p.m. on October 12th, a transaction went through, this time on a different debit card for $1,200. Both the declined charges and the completed one were made to a company called Solver Wolf's Roadside Assistance. It was a start. Investigators contacted the owner of the business, a man named Dwayne Hall.
Hello, this is Dwayne with Solver Wolf Roadside. How can I help you?
Hey, my name is Calvin Lee. I'm a special agent with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement out of the Gainesville area. And here, we got a weird request. So, we are helping out the United Kingdom police with a missing person. And looking through her banking records, it looked like she called your business for assistance probably 2 or 3 days ago, and the payment was declined. Her name would have been Sonia Exelby. Is that ringing a bell?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, she broke down, needed a tire change.
Okay.
And was requesting to be transported the rest of the way to her location, but declined payments. We ain't gonna touch that.
Okay. So
We have to pay for our services.
Right. So you did change the tire and the payment got declined, or that payment went through and
We never showed up.
Oh, okay. Okay. So she said she had a flat tire.
Yeah.
And so before y'all show up there, y'all do they have to pay over the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. And that declined, so y'all never actually showed up.
Right.
Did she say where she was wanting to go to, her final destination?
Did not say.
Okay.
She was very secretive about everything. I don't know.
All right.
That's weird. What you mean she was very secretive? You just roadside assistant. What you mean she was very secretive?
Well, I appreciate it. You said you're Dwayne, right? The owner?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your last name, just for my record, so I say I spoke with you?
Hall, Hall.
Hall.
Dwayne Hall was not only the owner of the roadside assistance company, he was the only employee. Dwayne explained to the detective that since Sonia's payment had declined, he had not traveled out to meet her. This explanation, of course, did not explain why a $1,200 charge had been processed on her second card to his business the next day. Investigators suspected, if nothing else, that Dwayne was guilty of credit card fraud.
I've got just a ridiculous amount of money coming out this month for everything, and we haven't even gotten to taxes yet. That's next month probably. So it's like I'm struggling really hard. I'm struggling financially and emotionally. So does anybody possibly want to help me save my company, my future, and pretty much everything that goes along with that? Because if you do, I could really use about 10K right now. Otherwise, it looks like this might be the end of my company.
Dwayne and his longtime partner, whom he called his wife, Ginger Stein, had fallen on hard times. The two had met when Ginger was only 16 years old. At that time, Dwayne was 26. They began a romantic relationship roughly 1 year later, according to Ginger, the moment she turned 17. Their relationship continued on and off for 3 decades. The two lived...
I guess in Florida, I thought Florida was 18. But they might not be originally from Florida.
Together in Ocala and raised Ginger's son. The bills were piling up. Ginger was diagnosed with a rare disease that caused scar tissue to develop on her lungs. In 2025, she received a double lung transplant, which saved her life. It also left the couple in a considerable amount of debt from medical bills. Attempts to raise funds online to offset some of the cost were unsuccessful. Indeed, a GoFundMe account for Ginger seeking to raise thousands received only $50 from a single donor.
I need to ask for everybody to try to donate to me and my wife. We're trying to offset about $12,000 worth of medical expenses and moving expenses and everything else because she's trying to get a transplant. And of course, if anybody's out there that's been through the process before, you know that involves about 10,000 doctor's appointments, and I can't do doctor's appointments with my wife and work, and I'd rather be with my wife than work any day of the week. And we're asking everybody out there that sees this to try to do what you can to help donate to offset that $12,000 expense that we need help with.
When Dwayne Hall spoke with detectives, he conveniently left out the $1,200 charge he made to Sonia Exelby's account on the day before she was meant to fly home. Dwayne was unable to provide details of Sonia's vehicle or the location where she had required assistance. What investigators were able to find were the bookings Sonia had made for her trip, her flights, travel to Heathrow, and an Airbnb rental in the small town of Reddick. When they located the Airbnb property, they found that it had not been cleaned since Sonia's stay. In the trash was a receipt for a shovel, though no shovel was found at the house.
A shovel?
There were also...
Why would she...
And at the Airbnb, so you went to her. Whoa.
Even when you said that she was like being secretive, I'm like, if the conversation was just about you changing a tire, the transaction didn't go through, that would have been it. What was she being secretive about? What questions were you like? That didn't make sense in itself. The fact that he said that, I thought that was odd and weird.
Yeah, we both did. We both did each other kind of.
But a shovel, okay, yeah.
But also at her Airbnb,
exactly.
That's, to me, that's very weird.
Food wrappers, a Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup, packages for a sandwich and strawberries from a petrol station, all purchased with the same bank card. A neighbor told investigators that she spotted a black SUV parked at the property over the weekend of October 10th to the 12th. It had a sticker in the back that read, "Emergency, roadside." Transactions for the purchases inside the rental all returned to the same name, Dwayne Hall. On October 11th, the same day as the declined transactions, Sonia had messaged a friend. Frantically and occasionally in indecipherable language, she wrote, "I'm sorry, he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it. He made it clear there was no way unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I can't kill anyone. He's in the shower, but I'm locked in, and there is no signal in the middle of nowhere. I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew and realize this is the last thing I'll ever day to anyone if I don't take his offer of shooting him. I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here doing what he wants. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be quick. And my time's up.
Everyone units on track. We got the vehicle. It's I-75.
So what? Because you stayed there multiple days with this young lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you trying to offer yourself for the life insurance policy to pay off? Could that possibly been what you was trying to get her to do? Or did you see an opportunity to assault her? And then to cover up your assaults on her, you had to take her... I don't know.
It's northbound.
I just said it's strange. I don't know either.
Got on.
You're in the number 2 lane, we're in the number 1 lane. That's a black Jeep.
On October 17th, Dwayne and Ginger were on their way to the hospital for an appointment when the Marion County Sheriff's Office pulled them over.
So if you just want to pat him down, search, make sure he doesn't have any weapons, and then we may have to take the wife as well so she can arrange for a ride or something to get up to the hospital.
Yeah, she's got to be for a bronchoscopy. She just had a double lung transplant.
Oh, geez, okay. All right,
let's walk. You guys are really like, this is up.
Shut the fuck up, man. What you did, that's...
Y'all good? All right, let's walk up here to my car. I'm not going to make you stand next to the interstate. We're just going to go up to this side of the car right here, okay?
Whatever you guys need, I guess.
Right up here to this door. All right, go and face the car for him. I'm just going to patch down, make sure you got nothing else.
Sorry, babe.
Officers took Ginger to the hospital to ensure that she did not miss treatment following her operation. They also spoke with her about where her husband had been on the weekend Sonia was held captive in the Airbnb in Reddick. The 43-year-old explained that on the weekend of October 10th to the 12th, Dwayne had been working on a secretive project away from home. She understood that he was restoring vehicles for an unnamed client who overpaid him, then forced him to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement.
Wow.
Is this the first time you know of him talking to the police or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, not the first time regarding this. But
he'd been talked to before?
He had a big...
This is about the credit card stuff? Mostly?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
He had a big job, I think in Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted him to stay overnight and work on a whole bunch of different cars.
Okay.
And I guess they made him sign a non-disclosure agreement because they had a bunch of really expensive cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while he was gone, is when...
Shorty, your husband was paid $1,200. Like I need to let's really think. You said they had him stay overnight because he was working on and sign an NDA because he's working on very expensive cars. First of all, if he was paid $1,200 to work on very expensive cars, that's cheap as hell. Also, nobody pays you make you sign an NDA because you went and worked on a vehicle. I just need some people to think because it doesn't even make sense, right?
Yeah, to us it doesn't make sense, but some people believe anything their significant other tells them.
No.
Some people believe.
You telling me because he had to stay overnight to work on a car. He was paid on some very expensive cars, multiple of them. Expensive cars mean...
We don't establish this.
Expensive cars mean luxury or exotic.
Mm-hmm.
$1,200 is about one car.
Mm-hmm.
That's a luxury or exotic. That's a very expensive car.
Babe, we get it. We hear you and we understand. And like I said, some people believe anything and everything that their significant other tells them. So...
I'm just saying, if it was 12,000, you should have believed it. If it ain't 1,200, you should be like, lie to somebody else, Dwayne.
Right.
When he got the stolen credit card, tried to go through and everything.
Okay.
Ginger told detectives that she knew only of issues with a credit card that her husband processed for the job he did on those dates. Even after officers visited their home in person in the days following, she was told nothing further. She had been in hospital upon their arrival, and Dwayne had offered no further information, she said.
Did he say anything about what all the cops were asking him or what they were talking to him about?
Just the card. Just
about the card being declined and stuff.
I guess there's some. I guess it was reported stolen.
Oh, okay. Oh, this might be okay. And he didn't have any.
Or he thinks it was reported
thinks it's stolen because it was declined and stuff. That's something.
Yeah, and usually if a card's declined, the cops don't necessarily get involved. So, I mean,
Though Ginger may not have had any indication of why detectives were interested in a credit card transaction, Dwayne seemed to have pieced together a theory, a rather illogical and elaborate one. When he sat down with the FDLE and sheriff's investigators, he began by telling them the same version of events that he stated to Ginger. A client he knew only as Harold, which was likely a fake name, had contacted him to perform mechanical work on a series of high-end vehicles.
It's okay. You look like a Middle Easterner. In my brain, this is how I remember what he looked like. Okay, He was a tall Middle Easterner, but his teeth were too big for his face, and his smile was too big for his teeth.
Teeth were too big for his face. Smile was too big for his teeth.
Dwayne assumed the expensive cars were owned by celebrities who wished to keep their business private. He named Tom Cruise and John Travolta Scientologists who were rich, famous, and private about their affairs. He explained that he was put up in a house in Reddick, which he assumed was owned by Harold. In the morning, he was driven to an undisclosed location where he worked on various cars inside a nondescript barn. He was not allowed to carry his cell phone with him to the location and could not recall where it was.
I was out there on a different type of job.
Okay.
I'd gotten hired. Now I ain't telling you anything about this because I signed an NDA for the client. Okay. But if it comes down to it, and we need that information, and we desperately need that information, I'll break that NDA. But the reason why the NDA was there was because there's a high-profile client.
Y'all gotta stay off the internet.
What are we talking about?
Bro, y'all gotta have to stay. That is so weird, bro.
That has cars for people like Travolta and like that on his property.
Tell me more about that. It's pretty important.
I can't tell you more about that. Tell me why it's more important.
My boy, an NDA is none and void in an investigation, bro. Like, yeah, you automatically break an NDA if you're getting questioned by the police.
Because it's different from what you told before.
Yeah, because I wasn't asked these questions before.
Well, now we're asking them, so that's why.
Okay, so basically what happened, this dude had a bunch of cars out there, old. My favorite one was the 33 rat rod with the big 355 sitting down in it.
Okay.
And all chromed out. And he basically had me out there doing maintenance on them. And he said he chooses a different company every year. And basically, if he goes through Yelp or whatever to find a small company. And then if they know what they're doing, because he'll sabotage his car on purpose to see if they know what they're doing. And I had his car fixed when he did that for me in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I walked up, try it now.
Do you remember what he did to sabotage it?
He just unplugged the wire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he unplugged the wire that was kind of hidden down in there.
Yeah.
I said, I'll try it now. And I took my box up to it. Box said everything was good. And I reached down and I started looking. And, just come unplug. Try it.
Okay.
Yeah,
What wire? And I'm not as familiar with cars. What wire would cause the whole car not to start like that? Was it
ground wire?
Oh, okay.
If you unground the vehicle, you can't start the vehicle.
Okay.
Don't forget that.
Gotcha.
The new cars are a little bit different. You have to unhook about half a dozen of them, but the old school ones, they have one major ground. And if you unhook it just enough or make it loose in there, it won't ground and it won't go.
Okay.
And it'll cut off while you're driving.
Gotcha.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. I've been doing mechanics since I was 5.
Yeah.
So almost 50 years of history and experience. So anyway, he had me come out there and then he had me sign the NDA and he paid me a ton of money. And basically he was getting all his cars ready for like the big car shows that happen this time of year for like the spooky Halloween drives and et cetera, et cetera. At least that's what I was told.
Dwayne stayed at the house and worked in the mystery barn until the evening of Sunday, October 12th, when he was informed that the job was over. He was given a card number to process a payment of $1,200 for the weekend's work. Then he traveled home. On his way back to his residence on Marion Oaks, however, he noticed that he was being followed. This was particularly concerning because of other oddities that he noticed in his dealings with the mysterious Harold. Somehow, his correspondence from that weekend, call logs, text messages, and emails had been wiped clean. There was absolutely no digital record of the job he performed, nor the time he had spent in the barn.
When these transactions and interactions with this individual were taking place, they disappeared. I didn't delete them.
Okay.
I literally have 3 calls listed for, I think it's Sunday. 3. It's either Saturday or Sunday. There's 3 calls compared to 20, 30 a day that come into my phone.
So did the calls come in and you were having those conversations and it wasn't logged, or you weren't getting calls at all?
Calls were coming in. They vanished. They vanished out of the call log. Text messages, emails, everything. Everything regarding and relating to that service that I did out there vanished. Gone. Like it never happened.
How did he pay you?
The card.
Okay.
Paid with my card.
Okay.
Read card numbers off to me, and I programmed them in, and I got paid.
Okay.
I got paid $1,200 for like 36 hours of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went home that Sunday. Or I tried to go home that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I was being followed.
How so?
I was being tailed.
Tell me more about that.
It was, I can't really tell you too much because I never got close enough. But it was either, it was along the lines of, because they got these stupid ass.
See, what you looking at me for?
I'm just looking, child. Because some people are just full of SHIT.
I don't want to keep listening to some bullshit.
Come on with that. Come on.
Colors nowadays, you can't just be silver and gray. Okay, but it was on color spectrum type from like a silvery tan color. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
When the vehicle color that gets out of that tan cream color and more into the charcoal color, the gray color. Mm-hmm. It was something like that, or maybe a silver color sedan.
So it kind of depends on how the light's shining on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
To verify that he was being tracked by the tan, gray, silver car, Dwayne said he pulled off the main road onto a dirt track. He watched as the vehicle circled. After roughly an hour, he pulled away, only to see the same car pull into the woodland behind him, exactly where he had been parked.
Tell me more about that.
I got off like I was going to get off to go home, and I went past the entrance to where I would normally turn to go to my house, and I came back. I U-turned and come back because it's like, there's no way. There's coincidence, and maybe he's just getting off. Maybe he's going out through here. And I went and I came back, and then I noticed that they U-turned too, so I dipped into a side little spot. I sat there for a few minutes until they left, until I thought they left, and then I zipped and took some back roads, and I sat there and waited, and I seriously sat there, and no, I don't know what the address is. I don't have my phone. But at the same time, I sat there and I waited for an hour. And they kept making passes on the main road. I know they could see the back of my vehicle. I didn't care about that. Mm-hmm. They kept making passes on the main road. And then I left. And when I left, they pulled in and stopped right where it was.
What day was that again?
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Okay.
Sunday morning.
Where were you parked for an hour?
I was out in the back of Marion Oaks.
Okay.
While Dwayne continued to speak with investigators, a team of officers were out searching the woodland by Marion Oaks. They had also obtained a search warrant for the 53-year-old's phone and his home. In his garage, they found a shovel, which matched the one purchased on October 10th. In addition to this purchase, they found Dwayne had acquired paracord, 50 feet of rope, and gun cleaner. They found a handgun in his SUV. How did Sonia fit into Dwayne's bizarre series of events? At first, he said she called for roadside assistance, but he refused the job when her card was declined. By the time they spoke in person, investigators knew Dwayne had collected her from Gainesville Airport on the evening of October 10th. License plate readers put his Jeep there. He amended his previous statement. She must have been a client of Harold's. He was told that she was going to purchase one of the vehicles. He drove her to the Airbnb, where she met with another man, whom she embraced before leaving with him in another car. He was shown a photo of Sonia and identified her as Harold's client.
We have to make sure that we're talking about the right person because we don't want to accidentally think that we're looking for the wrong person. So once you started to describe her, I was like, okay, I think we're
Should have told me that to begin with. I could have saved you a lot of hassle.
Yeah, that's her. I dropped her off up there. They took her.
Well, you were talking about cars and you were really excited about
Yo, he
Man, get
he
your
bugging. He act like he at home.
Yeah, this motherfucker's annoying.
Something's wrong.
Something been wrong with this man, bro. When we first found out you was dealing with and you've been with her for 30 years without marrying her, bro.
talk about cars. So
What if, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if they do this every year? What if this Harold guy does this every year? What if he does find some small company? What if there's a different person that goes missing every year that is related to that? Because that's f***ed up. That's f***ed up. And then there was a big thing and a phone call about money and this, that, and the other. And we start connecting the dots like me and her did. What if this is some kind of underground thing where they get unsuspecting people, especially like Calvin told me she was suicidal anyway. What if she signed up for something and they predator these young women or men and then just they vanish? Bunch of declined transactions. There's a big blow up on the property. All of a sudden my contract is finished. Here's the payment. And if I was going to do something like that to somebody, that's exactly what I'd do. I'd use this other person's card to pay the money that I promised. And now they're not looking in my direction. I didn't have to spend any of my own money. Nobody's looking my way. Nobody even knows who I am. And I'm gone. Bitch is gone. Sorry. But
what? You said bitch is gone?
Yeah.
The one that was rude to you?
Yeah.
I want to make sure we're talking about the same person.
Yeah.
The bitch from the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I can't prove the other side of this. Any digital footprint that I had is missing. What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to, how am I supposed to make you guys believe my part of the thing in this? When everything looks like I had something to do with this right now, and
when Dwayne was finished offering his conspiracy theory to explain Sonia's disappearance, he was met with the revelation that detectives knew the Airbnb had been in Sonia's name. They knew from her messages that she had stayed there. Dwayne produced a new story. They both had stayed there, but not at the same time.
Was she ever there at any point? Did she ever go in at any point, spending time there?
She was not there at the same time I was.
Okay.
Okay. When I was there, period.
Okay.
She was never there when I was there.
Investigators had been in contact with Sonia's family and friends in England. From Stevie, they learned the extent of Sonia's struggles with mental health. Only the year before, her correspondence on Telegram revealed disturbing plans she had made to meet with someone who was willing to hurt her. Online, she had been connecting with individuals who said they were willing to kill her. An attempt to meet with one such individual in 2024 had already been thwarted when her messages were discovered. Following that episode, Sonia had sought treatment. In the months and weeks before her disappearance, family and friends reported that she appeared to be doing well. They believed the worst was behind them. For 2 years, however, Sonia had been accessing fetish websites and had been communicating with a user named Dark Wolf. The two discussed scenarios in which Dark Wolf would abuse and kill Sonia. In real life, that individual was Dwayne Hall.
Yep.
Damn.
You know, I've been
So you telling me it's a possibility she came to America? Cause they said she left the UK sporadically. They didn't really understand why she left, but she had a return flight. So was this supposed to be like a fetish thing? But why book a return flight if you never had plans on returning in the first place? And then he ran her car because maybe he thought, this is a twist. And it said twisted plot.
Yep.
Two strangers twisted plot. Revealed. Because at the end of the day, this is still murder. Even if the person asks you to do it, you can't do it. It still will be considered murder. Because haven't we seen a case like that before?
Yes.
And I was like, how? Like, do one go to jail? Even though, and they was like, yeah, you still go to jail. That's crazy.
With people who know her and know things about her, and we know that she was communicating with people over here. We also know that you were one of the people that were communicating with her.
What was her screen name?
What was your screen name?
What does that matter?
Right.
I communicate with a lot of people.
Okay. Do you communicate with a lot of people about ideations?
We have a lot of, I used to. Used to communicate with a lot of people that it was a porn site. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of fantasy role play that happened there. But if you tell me your screen name, maybe I'll have a better idea what you're talking about.
Which porn sites?
Motherless.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you communicated with her on Motherless?
I don't know, but if you're saying that I communicated with her, there's a good possibility that's where it was. And if you tell me which one it was, then if you tell me the screen name, I'll be able to confirm or deny.
You
have us at the same time. You have witnesses that we were there at the same time.
And devices that put you there at the same time.
Okay.
We have processed that house. Mm-hmm. And when those results come back, because again, forensically, and you've already told us you were all over that house. We know that she was.
At the end of the day, my boy, you ain't smarter than a whole detective department and computer mechanism. You ain't, like, you yourself cannot outsmart a whole fucking organ. You know? I don't know why they said he gave us this whole long drawn out conspiracy, bro. For us to just to get here.
We are going to put you guys at that house. And so she came over here with the intention of carrying out these role-playing scenarios. We know that she documented it. She actually sent a letter to herself while she was on the airplane talking about meeting somebody and what the outcome of that meeting was going to be.
Dwayne's version of events changed once more. He and Sonia had been together at the Airbnb. They had even been physical. He had been mentoring her through their conversations online, offering help with her relationship with her partner, he claimed. He only wanted to help her. By the time she came to Florida, he wanted nothing to do with her physically. His wife's life-threatening condition had altered his perspective, and he claimed that dark and violent side of him had gone quiet. When he left the Airbnb, Sonia was alive, he said.
Is that what you want?
No, we want you to be honest with us. We want you to tell us the truth. We don't want you to make anything up or just tell us what you think we want to hear.
She did get in the vehicle with somebody else. There's a certain point she did get in the vehicle with somebody else that happened after. Okay. The fact that I didn't want to have anything to do with the whole thing to begin with is the whole reason I tried to sleep in a separate bed. Okay? I did end up being in the same bed as her on the other side of the bed from her.
Okay. And what happened?
And what do you think happened?
Well, I know what happened. Like, but I need you to tell.
Happened?
I can't read minds.
Retrieved from Dwayne Hall's cell phone was a video. It was of Sonia, wearing the same floral dress that she had worn when boarding the plane at Heathrow Airport in London. In the recording, she was seated on a chair in the Airbnb. Disheveled and showing signs that she may have been beaten, her eyes rarely met the lens of the camera. Head down, tears in her eyes, and with a quiet voice, she spoke hesitantly. Dwayne could be heard in the background, asking her questions. It was what investigators believed was one of 3 disclaimer videos recorded by Dwayne Hall that weekend. He asked Sonia repeatedly whether she had asked for the treatment that she was receiving, and whether she wanted what was happening to her. Visibly injured and scared, she reluctantly nodded in agreement. The video, as described, was pulled from Dwayne's cell phone data after a full extraction. He had deleted it only 3 seconds after saving it, stating on the recording that she was not behaving the way that he wanted her to on camera.
I just don't believe you.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that
I already told the wife that nobody had ever believed that this happened. I already know. I already knew, which is why until the direct questions were asked, I didn't even bother bringing it. Why would I? Why would I? I'm going to get
because
the same response from you.
Because if you know what the end result is of this whole thing, just be upfront with the information that you know. You indicated that you didn't know her at all, that you had never even met with her when this first came up, and now you're talking about having sex with her, recording things and then deleting them. And I guess from my perspective, if you can try to understand it, it doesn't look great.
I already know it doesn't look great. I leveled with you about what happened.
Right. So, same thing goes for a body, right?
Did you find her?
What I'm saying is...
Did you find her? No, I mean, but at the same time, as I said, I don't really know what happened to her.
I think when you give that story about you leaving Sunday and a car following you and you ducking in the woods for a set amount of time and a car driving by, I think that's you accounting for your phone that you already knew at that point that we had your locations and such. And I think that you did something with her there at that spot.
The teams out searching the woodland in the neighborhood of Marion Oaks did find Sonia. Using Dwayne's cell phone location data, they were able to pinpoint the area where he had told detectives that he had parked for roughly an hour on his way home on October 12th, the day he traveled back from the Airbnb. In the shallow grave with Sonia was the label to a shovel, the same one purchased at a Walmart by Dwayne days before and later found in his garage. There was blood located on the blade, a DNA match to Sonia Exelby. Dwayne had made one additional stop on his way home that he had failed to mention to detectives in the nearly 6 hours he spent speaking with them, a stop at a Lowe's home store to purchase a large plastic tarp.
Hey, Dwayne.
Hey.
Did you need us for something?
Yes.
What's
If you got a minute, I'd like to talk to you. Well,
okay.
More from you than you, I think.
Okay. Well,
What would you like to talk about?
I want to recant basically my entire statement.
You want to recant your entire statement?
Yes.
Okay. Well, before we talk,
Dwayne's final version of events did not include a confession, though the case against him had piled up so rapidly. One was not required. Messaging history with a friend of his named Rick from Ohio revealed the delivery of a special package sent from Florida in the days after Sonia's murder. We'll need this back in 6 months if the storm passes over with no lingering fallout, Dwayne wrote. Please, for the love of shadows, don't lose this box. There's no need to even open it. Inside, investigators found a bracelet along with a knife with a 7-inch blade. The knife had been a gift to Dwayne. Engraved on it were the words, "Dork Wolf, pointy end goes in the other guy, a play on his regular username, Dark Wolf. Testing of the blade found blood and a DNA match to Sonia Exelby. Rick told investigators that despite Dwayne telling him that he helped Sonia die, he did not believe there was any ambiguity. He believed Dwayne had murdered her. Dwayne Hall pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder and kidnapping. He is being held without bond and is expected to stand trial in 2027 should a plea deal not be reached. Prosecutors believe that the totality of the evidence showed that Dwayne had used Sonia to play out a dark fantasy after meeting online. After exchanging messages over a 2-year period, he was aware that she suffered from extreme mental illness, and he acted to take advantage of that fact. Law enforcement in the United Kingdom refused to share evidence with the prosecutor's office in Florida unless the death penalty was taken off the table. Dwayne Hall faces life in prison if convicted. Sonia Exelby is deeply mourned by family and friends. Her partner, Stevie, continued with plans in December 2025 to run the Portsmouth Marathon. He ran it in Sonia's memory and to raise money for cats' protection, a cause that was incredibly important to Sonia. And that was the tragic story of Sonia Exelby. Thank you.
That is so sad.
I thought money was the motive. It wasn't even the motive.
No.
Damn.
Not solely anyway. Or initially anyway. That's sad, bro. I don't even know what we just... Rest in peace to Sonia. And my condolences to her family. What you about to say?
And I'll just say this also, just to be 100, they don't need any evidence from the UK to convict this man at all. No. The crime didn't even happen in the UK.
Yeah.
What only information that maybe the communication between the two as far as from her side.
Yeah.
But other than that, they don't need y'all to convict this man. If they want to give him the death penalty, they have all the evidence. The crime was did in Florida.
Right.
The evidence was in Florida. You have evidence that you can retrieve from
Strong
his side.
Evidence.
So there's nothing. Well, y'all weird.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I'm like,
y'all
what?
So weird, bro.
Take that. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I pray her that justice is served.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all spend most up. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comments down below, man. But until next time. Y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and
We are.
No time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't tell your